Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra. I am preacher of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Today I am going to talk about humanitarian law and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Means can we learn humanity from Srimad Bhagavad Gita and how humanitarian law is useful to establish a peace and equality in the society. So before I start my lecture, I would like to introduce Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Sri Bhaktivedanta Srila Mahaprabhupada from ISKCON temple. And I would say that Srimad Bhagavad Gita is neither religious book nor spiritual book, but in true sense is pure book of science and humanity. And I am trying to propagate a humanity on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and trying to morally motivate to those people who are actually frustrated and attempt to commit suicide on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Even I am having Constitution of India, so I am going to compare Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I am going to make a relation between Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Constitution. Means what kind of relation in between the fundamental rights and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, fundamental duties and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. What Lord Krishna said about fundamental rights and duty and how to manage the society on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as well as Constitution. So before I would have to say that before in main context I would have to say that international humanitarian law is referred to as the law of armed conflict. Whenever there is a armed conflict, whenever there is a violence, whenever there is a whenever there is a war, is a law that regulates to conduct of war, and it's a branch of international law that seeks to limit the effect of armed conflict by protecting persons who are not participating in hostiles and restricting and regulating the means and method of warfare available in combatant. Means the people who are actually not hostile, people are not actually involved in the particular warfare. This law is mainly talking about the regulation and mainly talking about the rights of the particular people who are not actually involved in the particular warfare. And international humanitarian law is inspired by consideration of humanity. Inspired by consideration of humanity. Lord Krishna stated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita about humanity. Lord Krishna stated there is no difference between humanity and dharma. We are talking about Hinduism, Mohammedas, Muslimism, or Christianity. But what is dharma? What is Sanatan Dharma? In Sanatan Dharma, we have to talk about humanity, human consideration, human values. Lord Krishna here stated, when there is no humanity, there is no dharma, and for humanity there is a unity. Unity is required most for dharma. And if there is a unity, then Lord Krishna himself situated into particular society where there is a humanity and dharma and where there is a unity. It comprises a set of rules which established by a treaty or customs that seeks to protect person and property objects that are may be affected by armed conflicts. So in actually Syria, in Islamic nation, there is armed conflict. So what about the rights of the people? In a specifically, whenever we are talking about a humanitarian law, we have to talk about the people who are actually affected because of this particular warfare. And Lord Krishna took care of those people those people's family in the battle of Mahabharata, whose family affected by the battle of Mahabharata. Lord Krishna stated, it's my duty. And Lord Krishna took this all people's family who had died in the battle of Mahabharata into the Dwarka, and he took care of all such a people's family. Lord Krishna, this is a humanitarian law. Lord Krishna here stated in verse number 32, chapter number 9, about humanity, human consideration. Lord Krishna here stated, verse number 32, chapter number 9, 9.32. Here Lord Krishna said, माही पार्थ व्यापारिस्त ए पृषि श्रुह पाप योनः स्त्रिय वैश्य तथा शूद्र तेपि यन्ति परम गतिः. Pap yoni, even the people who actually born in pap yoni, that people will definitely get particular supreme destination. O son of Prutha, those who take a shelter in me. Lord Krishna here stated, the people who have a shelter in me, the particular person means what kind of people who can take a shelter in Lord Krishna? Only Krishna consciousness, only those people who are having a humanity, human consideration, and though they be of lower birth, woman, Vaishya and Sudras can attain the supreme destination. These people will surely attain the supreme destination. Lord Krishna further said in verse number 29, chapter number 9, Samoham sarva bhutesu nami dvesanti nami priya. Lord Krishna here says, Samoham sarva bhutesu nami dvesanti nami priya. E bhajanti tu mama bhaktani. E bhajanti tu mama bhaktani. Mahite tesu chapya. Mahite tesu chapya. Mahite tesu chapya. Lord Krishna here said, I am neither envy with anyone nor partial to anyone. I am equal to all. Lord Krishna here said, I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion, whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend and is in me, and I am also friend of him. I am also friend of him who has rendered his devotional service unto me. Lord Krishna further said, even if one has committed the most abominable action, if he is engaged in the devotional services, if I have raped many girls, if I made a dacoity, if I have done a robbery, despite of these all things, if I started to get a transformation, and if I started to render a service unto Lord Krishna's devotion, then Lord Krishna said he is to be considered saintly because he properly situated in his determination. And if I started with a strong determination to serve Lord Krishna in a devotion, then I will consider myself as a saintly person. Sant Mahatma. Lord Krishna further said in verse number 66, chapter number 18, Sarvadharman parityajante mame ekam saranam vajra. Mame ekam saranam vajra. Aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami masula. Lord Krishna said, however you made many sinful activities in your life, you are a sinner of all the sinners. You are the greatest sinner person. If at the time of your death, if you remember even one single time of my holy name, then you will surely reach to me. Lord Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajante mame ekam saranam vajra aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami masula. Lord Krishna here said, abandon your all religious practices. Either you are Hindu, Muslim, anything, abandon your all religious practices and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you salvation and make you free from your all kind of sinful activities. Make you free from your all kind of sinful activities. So surrender is required. If I have done many sinful activities, if I have incurred many sinful activities in my life, many sinful acts in my life, if I surrender unto myself after done all the sins, then Lord Krishna will definitely uplift me from this material pool. Lift me over from this material pool. Lord Krishna stated. Lord Krishna further said, let's talk about rights of human or prisoners' rights. Actually, at the time of Bhagat Singh, when Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru and also Batukeshwar Dutt and his other fellows, their other fellows who were put into Lahore jail, the basic facilities were not given to this particular freedom fighter. At that time, they asked for their rights, prisoner rights, about clean water, about clean place, about a proper lighting in the cell, about not to put a handcuff, about a proper food, clean food, hygienic food, and about the reading material like a newspaper, books, and many things. Because of this all things, Bhagat Singh started a hunger strike, and 114 114 दिन की hunger strike के बाद he got all such a facilities. So when we talk about prisoner rights, there is a Constitution of India. So let's talk about fundamental rights and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Fundamental rights and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Here, as per article number 40, right to equality. When we talk about right to equality means equality before the law and equal protection of the law. Lord Krishna here said the law should be equal to each and every one. Otherwise it is very difficult to manage the society. Otherwise it is very difficult to uniform the people. If there is a partiality because of law, if there is a partial law, then nobody will be under control in the under the particular system. This is stated by Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna advised to Yudhishthir, he has to implement a proper uniform law. In the right to equality, there is a prohibition of the discrimination on the ground of the religion, race, caste, sex or place of the birth. Article number 15 of the Constitution of India. In this particular article, means how this article is related with Srimad Bhagavad Gita, means we have to take an example of Karna. He got a discrimination because of his birth, because of his caste. However, he was not belong to lower caste, he was belong to upper caste, but his mother was abandoned him in his childhood because he was illegitimate child. And that's why Lord Krishna asked to all of us that we don't have to make any kind of discrimination on the basis of the caste, sex, place of the birth, but the people are only great because of their karma, not because of their birth. Lord Krishna further said, equality of opportunity in the matter of public employment. So Lord Krishna gave an advice to Yudhishthir. If you really make any kind of discrimination in order to give employment to your people who are actually situated into your kingdom, then they will definitely organize a revolt against you. So you have to keep a equality. So abolition of untouchability and prohibition of its practice, means untouchability is part of caste-based discrimination. So it's against a humanity. As per article number 70 of the Constitution of India, and as per right to freedom and expression, Lord Krishna here said each and every person has a right to speech and expression under article number 90 of the Constitution of India. It has mentioned. So it's all about the 6 rights: speech of expression, assembly, association, movement, residence and profession. So Lord Krishna stated that each and every human being or each and every entity has an equal right on the air, water and fire, air, water and land. So we don't have to make any kind of discrimination. If we are denying anybody's of their basic rights, then it is against the humanity. Protection in the respect of conviction for offence. Protection in the respect of conviction of offence under article number 20. Actually, whenever there is a conviction, the prisoner, is all about prisoner rights, no double jeopardy. So Lord Krishna here said we have to treat equally with the prisoners. Protection of the life and personal liberty. Each and every person has equal freedom, equal liberty. We don't have to impose our thought on anybody's. If we are imposing our thought on anybody's, then what we are doing? We are actually creating a mess up, and the mess up will definitely end a particular relation. So we don't have to impose our relation with anybody's. Actually, I have tried to impose my relation on my partner. So right now, it's a very difficult situation for me. It's very difficult for me to sustain a relation, to protect the relation. Right to elementary education. Guru Drona has denied Angraj Karna to give a particular elementary education to Karna because he was not belong to Kshatriya. So this is never happen. We don't have to do this kind of activities. Protection against arrest and detention in the case of in the certain cases. Article number 22, arrest and detention. Right against exploitation, prohibition of the traffic in human beings and forced labor. So Lord Krishna here said we don't have to imprisonment to anyone, because our soul has Lord Krishna stated that I have given all kind of liberty to each and every living entity. I have given all kind of liberty to each and every individual soul. So we don't have to imprisonment to any souls. So this is all about international humanitarian law and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I have talked about prisoner rights as well as the fundamental rights which are mentioned in Constitution of India. So if you are having any questions, any doubt, then please kindly put a comment. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe.